The bar smelled like burnt circuitry and regret, which was exactly how Krell liked it. He slammed his third glass of fermented algae extract onto the counter, the green liquid sloshing over the rim as he leaned back in his chair. The exoskeleton on his back clicked with satisfaction. 4 of his 6 arms spread wide in a gesture of absolute confidence. So there I was, Krell announced to anyone within earshot, which happened to be most of the station's lower deck cantina, staring down a Gralix Ravager. You know the ones? 3 meters tall, acid spit, claws that could shred through titanium plating. A few patrons turned their sensory organs toward him. Some looked impressed. Others looked like they'd heard this story before, probably because they had. And what did I do? Krell continued, not waiting for an answer. I didn't flinch, not even a twitch. I raised my plasma rifle, steady as starlight, and dropped that beast with one shot. Right between its 4 eyes. Clean. Professional. That's what separates amateurs from legends, my friends. He took another gulp of his drink, savoring both the alcohol and the attention. Deathworlders, he said, waving a claw dismissively. Everyone acts like they're so terrifying. But I've hunted on 17 different death planets. Survived them all. The trick is simple. You need to be smarter, faster, and more ruthless than whatever's trying to kill you. A small figure at the end of the bar shifted slightly. Krell noticed, but didn't pay much attention. The creature was humanoid, relatively small by galactic standards, with pale skin and dark hair pulled back in a simple tie. She wore a worn jacket that had seen better decades and nursed something amber-colored in a glass. I mean, take the Vorkin snapjaws, Krell went on, warming to his subject. They hunt in packs of 30, coordinate attacks with pheromone signals, and have bite force that could crush a cargo pod. I took down 6 of them on Theta Proxima last cycle. 6. The colony administrator practically begged me to stay and clear out the rest, but I had other contracts. Other worlds to save. He paused for dramatic effect, checking to see if his audience was properly awed. Most seemed adequately impressed, though a few had returned to their drinks and conversations. The human at the bar turned slightly, and Krell caught a glimpse of startling blue eyes. She took a sip of her drink, set it down carefully, and spoke for the first time. Her voice was quiet, almost gentle. Did any of them hunt you? The cantina didn't go silent. That only happened in bad Holovitz. But there was a noticeable dip in the ambient noise level. Several patrons glanced between Krell and the human with the kind of interest usually reserved for pre-combat tension. Krell blinked all 3 sets of his eyelids in succession. Excuse me, your prey? The human said, still in that same calm, almost conversational tone. The Gralix Ravager, the Vorkin Snapjaws, all these dangerous creatures from death planets. She turned fully to face him now, and there was something in her expression that Krell couldn't quite identify. Did any of them hunt you back? Or did you just shoot them while they were eating, sleeping, minding their own business on their own worlds? Krell's mandibles twitched. I am a licensed hunter. I take contracts from colonies that need protection from dangerous wildlife. It's a noble profession. Noble, the human repeated, as if tasting the word. Right? So you're basically an exterminator with delusions of grandeur. Got it. A few snickers rippled through the cantina. Krell felt his primary heart rate spike, the secondary one picking up rhythm shortly after. And who are you to question my profession, little creature? What would you know about hunting apex predators? The human smiled. It wasn't a friendly expression. My name's Maya Ortiz, and I'm from Earth. That got attention. Real attention. Conversation stopped. Drinks were set down with careful precision. Even the bartender, a methane-breathing Quillix, stopped polishing glasses. Earth. The death world to end all death worlds. The planet so horrifically dangerous that its dominant species had climbed to the top of the food chain by being more terrifying than everything else combined. Krell tried to laugh, but it came out slightly strangled. Earth? Well, that's very interesting. But surely you're not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting anything, Maya said pleasantly. I'm just asking a simple question. Did they hunt you? Because on Earth, when you go after the apex predators, they tend to notice. They tend to take it personally. And they tend to do something about it. She stood up from her bar stool, and despite being at least 2 feet shorter than Krell, somehow the geometry of the moment made her seem larger. See, we've got this saying back home. You might have heard it. We're not at the top of the food chain because we're the strongest or the fastest. We're at the top because when something tries to eat us. She paused, that unsettling smile growing wider. Krell's mandibles clicked nervously, a sound that echoed too loudly in the suddenly attentive cantina. He tried to regain his composure, puffing out his thorax segments. Is that supposed to intimidate me? I've faced creatures that would make your little earth animals look like harmless pets. Maya tilted her head, the movement strangely predatory for something so small. Have you now? Tell me something, Krell. When you hunted those Gralix ravagers, did you track them for days? Learn their patterns? Understand their family structures? Or did you just wait until one wandered past your hiding spot and pull the trigger? That's not. Hunting is hunting. Krell sputtered, his confidence evaporating like moisture in a vacuum seal. No, Maya said softly. Hunting is hunting when both sides have a chance. What you do, that's just killing with extra steps and a fancy title. She walked closer, and several patrons actually shifted their seats to give her room. Let me tell you about actual hunting, Krell. On Earth, humans used to track animals for days, sometimes weeks. We'd follow them across continents. We didn't have plasma rifles, or exoskeletons, or fancy targeting systems. We had rocks, sticks, and spite. And you know what? We won. Every single time. The bartender made a small whistling sound through his ventilator. The persistence hunting stories. I've heard of these. Oh, those are the good ones, Maya agreed, not taking her eyes off Krell. Humans would just follow prey. For hours. Days. The animal would run, we'd walk. It would rest, we'd keep coming. It would hide, we'd find it. Eventually, the prey would collapse from exhaustion, and we'd finish it. Not because we were faster. Not because we were stronger. Because we didn't stop. Krell's rear legs were trembling now. That's barbaric. That's evolution, sweetheart. Maya's smile could have cut metal. And here's the fun part. You know what happens when you make humans angry? When you threaten our colonies, our ships, our families. That same instinct kicks in. That same relentless, patient, absolutely terrifying determination. She gestured around the cantina. Everyone here has heard the stories, right? The human freighters that limped to safety after attacks that should have killed them? The human colony that held off a Corinthian assault fleet with improvised weapons and pure stubbornness? The human diplomat who negotiated a peace treaty while bleeding from 7 different wounds and refused medical attention until the signatures were done. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Krell looked around desperately, seeking support and finding none. We're not special because we're from a death planet, Maya continued, her voice dropping to something almost conversational again, which somehow made it worse. Lots of species are from death planets. We're special because our death planet taught us that nothing, absolutely nothing, is too dangerous to hunt if you're patient enough, smart enough, angry enough. She stopped directly in front of Krell's table. So here's my question again, Hunter. Did any of your prey ever hunt you back? Did you ever feel what it's like to be tracked? To know something is out there, watching, waiting, learning your patterns? To realize that you're not the predator anymore. Krell couldn't speak. His vocal sacs had sealed shut from stress. Because if you had, Maya said, picking up his abandoned glass and examining the contents, you'd understand the difference between killing and hunting. You'd understand why experienced hunters, real hunters, treat their prey with respect. Why they make it quick and clean. Why they never, ever brag about it in bars to impress strangers. She set the glass down with a soft click. The thing about hunting apex predators, Krell, is that it requires you to think like one. To understand that you're not special. You're not chosen. You're just another animal with advantages trying to survive. Maya leaned in close enough that Krell could smell something on her breath, something sharp and organic that his sensors couldn't identify. And the moment you forget that, the moment you start thinking you're untouchable, that's when the real apex predator shows up and reminds you where you actually sit in the food chain. She straightened up, draining the last of her drink in one smooth motion. Fortunately for you, I'm not hunting today. I'm just drinking and minding my own business. But maybe, just maybe, you should consider doing the same. Because there are about 14 billion humans in the galaxy now, and some of them don't like hearing about outsiders coming to death planets and killing things for sport. Krell managed to find his voice, though it came out as barely a whisper. Are you threatening me? Threatening? Maya laughed, a sound that had no humor in it whatsoever. No, Krell. I'm educating you. Free of charge. Consider it a public service. She tossed a credit chip on the bar. But if you want to keep hunting Deathworlders, might I suggest you try Earth? We've got plenty of dangerous animals. Crocodiles, bears, hippos. Hell, we've got geese that'll fight you for looking at them wrong. She headed toward the exit, then paused and looked back over her shoulder. Just remember, if you come to Earth and try your usual tactics, well, you won't be hunting Deathworlders anymore. The pause stretched out like a wire about to snap. You'll be one. Maya walked out of the cantina, leaving behind absolute silence. After a moment, conversation slowly resumed, quieter now, more thoughtful. The bartender brought Krell another drink, complimentary. Krell sat frozen in his chair, all 6 arms tucked tight against his body, wondering if maybe, possibly, he should consider a career change. Perhaps something in agriculture. Hydroponics seemed nice. Safe. Quiet. Definitely nothing involving hunting. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.